Talk with Katie and Lindsey.
Hi, I'm Katie Hutchinson, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm also a certified mediator, and we're so happy to have you here this Friday.
That's right. We
Friday.
made it through another week.
Yay.
Thank God. I'm Lindsey Kearns. I'm the mama behind MalibuMamaLoves.com, and I'm also a certified conscious trauma-informed life coach.
Mm-hmm.
So today I want to talk to you guys about something that when I was reading the statistics just kind of blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
In the year 2014, deaths from this particular thing rose 72% in 1 year. And I think that's when it really hit.
Are you talking about fentanyl?
I am talking about fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
It is taking over towns. It's like sweeping the nation.
Mm-hmm.
It's become a pandemic.
Yes, it has.
And I think we need to talk about it.
We do. It is 50 to 100 times stronger than heroin. And this is because it's a synthetic opioid.
Okay, so synthetic means that it's like man-made.
It means that it's
It's
man-made.
not coming from any plant or anything like that. They can make it in a lab.
Right. Whereas heroin and anything that comes from heroin, so heroin, morphine,
poppy plant
OxyContin,
or
all comes from the poppy plant.
Yeah.
But when it's synthetic, that means you can make it in your backyard, whatever garage, wherever you want to make it. And it's pretty cheap, and yet it's so strong. Yeah.
So I know it's a prescription drug. That's how they initially found it. Used to treat patients with severe pain or post-surgery, right?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
But then the drug dealers got a hold of it because it's so cheap to produce.
Right. So the drug dealers then make it because it's so cheap to produce, and then they press it into pills that looks like OxyContin, Xanax, etc. So the biggest issue is, it's all of it. MDMA, what else did I say? Cocaine,
heroin, meth.
heroin. So you think you're getting this, let's say Xanax, and then the fentanyl is mixed with the Xanax, and that is what causes people to overdose, die, coma, etc. Because you don't know what you're getting. You think you're just getting pure Xanax.
And the crazy thing is that now these synthetic opioids, these man-made things, are now the most common way for people to overdose.
In the United States, right?
Yeah, that's awful. That, that they're doing it this way.
No.
So legally, when you're at the doctor, it's being prescribed to you. It's going to come in the hospital. They're going to give you a shot, a patch, or a lozenge that you can suck on, right?
And illegally, it's put into the pills, eye drops, which to me sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Why would you put that in your eyeballs?
I don't know. Nasal spray, and then I said the pills.
I get the nasal spray because that'll go up,
easy.
but in your eyeballs?
I don't know. That doesn't sound appealing
sounds
to me in the
awful.
slightest. Okay, so
But the kids are all doing this, right?
Well, a lot of them are, and so that's why it's so important to educate your kids that maybe you think you're buying Xanax, but it's not. It could be laced with fentanyl.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how it works. It works by binding to the opioid receptors in your brain that control pain and emotions, which I believe is the limbic system.
Yeah.
So
it kind of masks that pain and
for sure, mental
and your
and
emotions,
physical,
and you're relaxed, and that's what starts to slow down your breathing, right? Because it's sending the messages to your brain. Oh, relax, you're calm, and you can slow down so much that you eventually stop breathing.
It's why people take drugs. I just want to point out again. To deal, usually they're taking it to deal with emotional pain and unsolved trauma.
Unhealed childhood traumatic wounds.
Yeah.
And that's what breaks my heart. You hear this sweeping all these cities and around, and I'm like, there's so many wonderful options out there, you guys, that we can really address our unhealed wounds and take our powers back, but instead we're losing it to these man-made drugs.
Right. And you're going to be teaching a class about that.
Yeah, we have the master class coming up next week, so we hope you guys will join us for that, because we really do need to tap in and start to heal all of these wounds that are making us reach out for these things that are just hurting us.
Is that what the master class is about? I just want to, so it's unhealed trauma.
Unhealed trauma and healing your inner child.
Okay. And I have read all this information on this master class, and I will say I've said this before. I think it's excellent, and it's something that I would even give to my clients, and I don't say that often.
It's a great way to just start to heal, start your healing journey.
Important.
And as we talk about these drugs, the lean, the fentanyl, I know we have another one coming up on Monday.
I think it is.
Which is even more potent than fentanyl.
Which is terrifying.
It's more important than ever right now that we all start sharing this healing and addressing our inner
child, our inner child, and our inner ones. But it doesn't have to be just a child. Like, right?
No,
we can be
you're
traumatized
adults.
as an adult.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So what are the effects? What happens when you take this fentanyl? What do you...
okay. Well, you're very euphoric. You're drowsy, so you can be nodding off. Sorry, I have a little tickle in my throat. Nausea, confusion, paranoia,
Constipation, I read, right?
Constipation, trouble breathing.
Which will lead to unconsciousness.
It can. And so we already talked about sedation.
Which is scary, yeah. So if you are worried that someone might be hooked on it, if you are concerned yourself, these are some signs. If you notice this in somebody else, please get them some help.
Right.
This is not something you can just stop doing. Your body cannot just stop taking once you've started taking the fentanyl.
You can, but you're going to be so sick that you're probably going to fail. So
you've got to wean off of it. So the signs are that the person will be, like we said, very sleepy. You notice they'll sitting there and they'll just be like
nodding off,
dilated
pupils.
Even in the middle of a conversation, they'll be completely out of it.
And they're very relaxed. They can be very thin, usually, not always.
They're out of money. They usually are scrounging everywhere. They're like digging in the couch for the change.
And then they'll do really risky behavior in order to get the drugs. So prostitution, etc. Robbery.
Thieving, I was going to say.
Thieving? Isn't that a word?
It is. Mood swings. They're going to have mood swings with a lot of paranoia.
A lot of depression and anxiety.
Yep. And hallucinations, like
hallucinations. Yep.
Which is scary to me.
Yeah, and then one other thing that's important is they're not meeting their obligations. Did you say that already?
No, I don't think we did. They suddenly aren't able to do all the things that they were doing before. And you'll notice that. So if you guys notice this at all, we want to give you the helpline, the National Helpline for Fentanyl. I'm going to read it just so I make sure it's right. SAMHSA. So it's the
it's a substance abuse mental health services and agency.
And it's 800-662-4357. I'll go ahead and I'll post that in the comments because this stuff is serious.
Say it again for people.
800-662-4357.
Or help at the end.
Yep. Or 800-662-HELP.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yeah.
They are dealing with this all the time. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long.
365 days a year.
Yep, all year long. They know exactly how to help you, where to get you help, no matter where you're located. Help is possible, you guys.
Yes, and we didn't talk about what happens if they overdose. So if you do overdose, there is something called Narcan or naloxone. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but you have to give usually twice the amount that you would give to somebody else that had overdosed on heroin because fentanyl is so strong.
So you guys, that's why it's so serious. So please talk about this stuff with your kids. They need to know that this is out there. And what better place to get it from than your own parents or your family or, whoever you're cohabitating with.
Right. And then cognitive behavioral, you want to go inpatient usually, and they will give you another opioid to bring you down slowly so that you don't withdraw to the point that you want to do it again. And then cognitive behavioral therapy, like I said, inpatient, and then all family involvement, etc. if your family is
just a little piece of personal advice, and I say this with a lot of different forms of healing. If you are addicted, you are going through this process, don't be that hard on yourself. Be understanding. This happens to a lot of people. This is a synthetic drug. It's man-made. Someone made it to hook you. So instead of beating yourself up about it, get the help that you deserve.
And recognize that this is emotional pain that you're trying to cover up usually. Absolutely. Or you started it to help with your physical pain, and then to give it up is really challenging.
Yeah, but there's ways to do it, and there's better ways to handle your pain than completely drugging yourself out there,
Yep.
So, all right, you guys, we're going to leave you there for Friday. On Monday, we're going to come back and talk about this ISO. Am I saying it right?
I think so. ISOs, I just started to research it. So we'll tell you more on Monday.
We'll talk about it then. So I hope you have a great weekend. Yes. Stay safe.
Happy Friday. Oh, and a shout out to my sister. Today is her birthday.
All these birthdays this week.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.